And we saw too few. And an elephant, maybe.
Ah, okay. And now you also can hear us. Okay, that was just the test. Now, after you have seen our sexy faces, you can also hear our sexy voices. Hello, everyone. And here we go.
Hello,
League
welcome.
final. Season 8. And we are a bit doing the same time as last time. As we have a Bowser with us. This side.
Hello, pleasure to be back.
And we have the exact same finalists. And maybe the exact same amount of King Tigers. Let's see if we get that as well.
Of course, we're not only hoping to see tigers, but other various wildlife, such as panthers, elephants, okay? You know, maybe if we're lucky, we're gonna see a rare Sturm tiger. You know, you never know what you find when you go on safari in the grand finals of Steel Division League Season 8.
Yeah, absolutely. We also got the first picks and bans already. And the map we got... they didn't tell us which map we got.
It's Kostrica.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it out beforehand already. Since they didn't
the map that we have
out.
seen a lot in Season 1 this season. But it didn't went too well for Onord the last 2 times we played on it. He lost against Hairs on it, and I think he lost the game before on it as well. Like, yeah, against Luna in the finals of the charity event. So let's see if he can turn it around this time. Yes, he's picking...
but, you know, I want to address the elephant in the room. It's a really good map for PTRS.
Yeah, it's one of the 2 best maps for PTRS, that's for sure. That could trigger some PTSD in some people here. This discussion was hot over the last couple of days, or weeks rather, with Onord defending his playstyle to the teeth.
This is your cue, chat, to write like a whole novel about it in the chat, please. Please, you know, take your time, write a 1,000-word essay, and just post it in chat. We all want to read it. What do you think about the PTRS, huh? Let me know.
We have a lot of lovely bands as well. Nothing super fancy here, really. Bands are the classics. 2nd Infantry, Task Force 45, 17th SS, 97th, Raima Rapana, which against Gonzo is a super fine ban, as he loves
on this map as well.
Yeah, and the map. Syl is surprising because I don't think Gonzo rates Syl at all. Like, Onord is usually the guy who plays Syl, so himself banning Syl, I think it's a bit of wrong thoughts about the game. Like, Gonzo never plays Syl, so banning the division that you might play always feels a bit wrong. You should always...
Yeah. Maybe he was just scared that Gonzo was gonna pull a Boogaloo on him.
But, we will have an Axis vs Allies, so all the Vulcan viewers will rejoice.
Actually, look at the last three bans. We just talked about how there's 10 bans and it's Pansari and Forth Alpina.
Well, yeah, he wants to ban the best Flamers and the best CQC infantry. So 26 guards obviously also makes sense with the 2 cards of Sturmuriki Rocks.
Oh, obviously, yeah. It's an obvious ban.
Onord himself snacks himself another division that has Sturmuriki Rocks as well, with 3rd VDV. Obviously, one of my favorite divisions of all time. Never gonna forget.
Oh, I don't see the picks yet.
Oh. We only have 1 pick so far, and it's Onord with the 3rd VDV.
Okay.
Gonzo's pick has not been posted yet.
I like 3rd VDV on this map a lot. You can suffer a little bit in the 2-kilometer engages on the open, but I feel like you can kind of avoid them and like seed a little bit of land and then ambush whatever comes across. It's also a really good air map.
Yeah. It's for sure good air map. I wonder what the incomes will be. I guess Maverick versus Maverick with these 2 guys. Though Hairs has shown that Vanguard can be back in business. And obviously, if we get the Slutsk maps, I would not be surprised to see a balanced versus Juggernaut matchup once more, as we had last time.
Yeah, on the Slutsk maps, I also think that they could potentially go balanced. If they ever, you know, completely lose their minds and somehow pick Ciano, I could see Ciano a balanced matchup. I don't see Maybe Onord would pick Vanguard on something. Maybe Onord will pick Vanguard here, actually. With third VDV is not a bad Vanguard deck.
Ooh, and we have a interesting pick from Gonzo. Division that isn't too highly rated by other people. And that's 26. Like, it's good division.
Oh,
but
I think it's a good division, but this is not the map for it.
Well, I think Gonzo has a plan here. And I mean, he
will have to be air spam, right? Like he's gonna need to beat third VDV in the skies and then dab on him with air. Like that's the big strong suit of 26 Panzer here, right?
Yeah, 26 Panzer Maverick is a pick that is quite wild, I would say, because they don't have too much CQC infantry. They have one good card of CQC infantry, that's the Stoßtruppe, but that is kinda it. Like, Sturm Pioneers, not really doing the job.
Oh, they have regular pioneers.
And, yeah, regular pioneers, but your normal infantry is not great in forests. Your Panzer Commanders, your Ersatztruppen don't really cut it there. And yeah, you don't get any extra CQC outside of flamethrowers in the support tab either. But what you get is relatively good long-range capabilities. And Gonzo is someone who values the open spaces on Kostritsa in the center really highly. So what I would expect is him playing for that, trying to win there, trying to like then spread out to the flanks from the center by controlling that part. And I think that's his base idea here. But I'm interested to see what Onord can do against it. Especially as, yes, you have a lot of open ranges there, but VDV has the perfect counter to that. And that's called Smoke Off Map. So, just making the long ranges, CQC ranges, could be interesting. We also have Onord now on Maverick, so no fancy income plays here. Maverick versus Maverick, the classic meta is around there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Air Tap strong in 26, AA Tap really strong with the Famo, and you have good long ranges, but you really
Do you think the Famo is that good?
The Famo is
like
decent.
it has like no HE shells. Like it's empty after 2 airstrikes.
Yeah. You have to keep some supply trucks around, but Famos in B, and then maybe the SDKZ with the flak feeling, and the 20mm
the
trucks.
flak feeling is good.
Yeah, flak feelings are good. The Breda 20mm are the best 20mm in the game, and so on. So you have some decent AA options here, and the tank tab is solid against T-34s as well, and one Panther in the open can put some problems.
I think the best card here for him tank matchup wise is the Jagdpanzer in the anti-tank tab, because it absolutely roundhouse kicks T-34s, right?
Yes, and so do Panzer 3Ls in the shorter ranges. So those are the two ways of beating him. And then maybe using the 20mm autocannons for helping out, as there's not too many PTRSs.
I'm looking in the support tab, and I've never considered this unit, but they do have a Flammenpanzer free.
Yeah, yeah, but I guess the Grillas will be what we rather see, or the Italian,
yeah, for sure,
equivalent.
And the Italian Stück, yeah. But it would be a stylish choice. I mean, come on, Gonzo, show us your tricks.
I love the skin of that Flammenpanzer 3, by the way. This blue color.
Right, it looks so enticing.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's not very good.
Yeah. Let's go. So, do we have a match started? Both should be ready, but I guess Onord has to do some building before we get in here.
Yeah. I mean, both should do adjustments, right? Like, once you know your opponent division, you should almost always adjust from like the standard division you have ready.
Yes, that's for sure one of the best tips for people. Like, that's something that a lot of people miss out on. If you look into some decks after League games, and you'll see like, wait, the enemy doesn't have any tanks. The enemy is playing Raima Rapana, and you have your full anti-tank tab maxed out.
Yeah.
something is wrong there. The map is Kostritsa.
Yeah, I can remember once having a heated discussion there with, or not really discussion, it was more that Color König was a bit upset that I pointed out that You know, you don't need to bring like cards of AT guns against Rima, which you did in a league game. It was a very funny situation because as you said, it's like one of the big things is to adjust your deck according to what you're facing. It's also like simple choices like do you have to take the pack 40 in A, or is it enough to take the pack 38? Some choices like this, you know, that in a generalized ladder deck you kind of have to build a deck that can deal with everything as much as possible. The league you can optimize for your opponent's capabilities.
Yeah. Before we go into the game, one more quick shout out to the sellout section of this whole event and to the match Reno, where you can add prize pool money to the prize pool without having to pay anything yourself. All you have to do is visit some websites, and those then pay the prize pool, add easily another $1 to the prize pool by just visiting some websites. And if everyone in the chat would do that right now, 50 more bucks to play on, giving a bit more recognition to the players, giving a bit back to them for all the amazing games they show us here, all the practice they put in. By now, we are already closing in on the $200 for the first place, so not quite pocket money anymore. I mean, yeah, let's go esports SDL. Let's go. You can get us there, guys. Just visit the Matcherino page in the chat, click the links, and get us there. So, yep. That's that part. Who do you... let's do some predictions. Bowser, what do you think will be the results this time? Will Onord make
For the overall series or this game?
The series and the game. First the series, then the game.
I think it's gonna be closer than last time, but I think Gonzo is gonna win again. I think I'm gonna do 3-2 Gonzo.
No. We go this time the other way around. I think we go 3-1 Onord this time. Yeah, I'm with Robert. I feel like Onord has practiced a hell of a lot lately. I mean, Gonzo always in shape. Gonzo never is not in shape when it comes to league finals, but felt like Onord had him nearly figured out last time, and the exact same happened once before already. And I feel like history likes to repeat itself. So in season 3, Karma got beaten by Gonzo, and then in season 4 he slapped him 3-1. And I feel like this time it's Onord's time to do that as well, and beat the Gonzo in the finals.
I'm just going with the statistically safe bet here. You know, it's never good to bet against Gonzo. Never bet against Gonzo.
Just do it! Make your dreams come true!
Now, I think that he just has a lot of experience. He, you know, playing grand finals is second nature to him by now. He's like, oh, it's that time of the year again. Okay, guess I'll play the grand finals, right? Like, there's no nerves there. And for Onord, it's still... I think for Onord, there's still this element of, you know, he has to prove that he can do it. He has to prove that he can beat Gonzo and also beat the greatest, right? And I'm not sure how good Onord is with that kind of pressure.
I think he is fine with it. I feel like Onord is not a person to sweat a lot, and like he seems pretty chilled.
I think he puts that on, but I think underneath, you know, it's a little bit of that bubbling, a little bit of that. I need to prove it, bro.
Yeah, but as I said, he did put in the effort, and we are now going to go live as the game is up. And
yes, I mean,
I would say already based on the first matchup. I mean, I'm a third VDV lover, so what can I say? Third VDV.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with third VDV on this map as well, but I don't know. Like, never doubt the Gonzo. He picked this division for some reason. I can't see the reason, but you know, that doesn't mean there isn't one. Now we have to decide on one thing: which side is up and which side is down.
Which side is up?
Oh, I see the stream. I see the stream. Okay, if you stay like that, then that's fine. By the way, I'm approximately 30% bigger than you on your stream. I mean, I appreciate it, but
yeah. This is not adjusted to them. This was from the last time. Somehow I was bigger last time. And I mean, it's just representing the physical size of your. That has to be represented on camera as well. Otherwise, people always think you're small and just sitting in front. They don't realize that you're a tall guy. So yeah, try to help out with that part.
Look, what can I say? Being tall is not all what it's made out to be. Your back constantly hurts and you have no space on the airplane, okay? It kind of sucks, actually.
True. Yeah, Gonzo versus Onord. Let's see who starts where. Lord of the PTRS. Yeah. He is proud of it. Everyone claims him for it. And he made his weapon. So, yeah. Let's stay this way.
Incoming smile.
Let's see. For sure, if Onord wins with PTRS, Gonzo will make the patch come through. That's for sure, yeah. Strike team will not be silent about it.
And let's start with a very basic question. Which side do you prefer? Because I think on this map, people have divided opinions.
Which side I prefer? Yeah, I prefer the side that Gonzo is on.
Okay.
But I see the merits on the other side. I just kind of am trash on the top side when it comes to playing red. So I rather like blue side just for playing top. But the bottom I feel like, yeah, both sides. Like, blue side can get a bit easier into the town, but red side has the advantage in the major forest fight in the south, I would say. And then the mid-town, I would say blue side has some better spots, but this forest back here is pretty nice. And being able to shoot down the road, if you ever get here as red, is just amazing. Like, if you get to control the two forests in the middle, red can cut off that one reinforcement road of blue completely. So it's a wild map. But I feel like it's balanced. Don't know.
I also like the blue side better, but quite a bit, especially if you're the one pushing over the open. Because the free flags seem much more takeable, and it's also much easier to pressure the city from the open space if you're the blue player. If you're the red player and you need to rely on the 2-kilometer engages, you can get those two very close to the front line, the one in the little townlet to the north and then the one that's at the crossroads. But it's hard to make that superiority on the open come to bear in the city, because the blue city in the back is warded off by a bunch of forests, while the red city in the back is open. You can shoot into it from the open ground. So I think this is the side that Gonzo wanted as well. Or at least this is the side I would want if I were the 26 pencil player on this map.
Yeah, for the 2000 meter range, yes, absolutely. And yeah, we go in with 2000 meter range from the get-go. Grilla.
Did he bring this against Bird DDV? I mean, it's good. It only costs like 60, right? So yeah, okay. It's actually fine. It's still funny.
It only has the same issue as the Famo, that it runs out of ammo really, really quickly. You only have 5 HE shells on this thing and 10 HE shells. So yeah, supply trucks are kind of a necessity in 26 Panzer. But yeah,
he's also started with 2 Grille. One actually in the town, so he's gonna use this Grille to shoot down the roads onto next to the buildings where he spotted infantry. I think that's a very, very micro-intense thing to do, because you need to not only, figure out where's the infantry, then put the attack order down, make sure that it's not bugging out and moving forward, but also you need to stop shooting at some point, because what we've seen happen many times is that people do that, and then they micro somewhere else and forget about it, and then they come back and the Guerrilla has 3 shots left. That's no good either.
And yeah, we also have Faustniki and PTRS. So Onord going all in on the annoying part of this game. Faustniki and PTRS. Blue side, Mercy. It's also a bit easier from the blue side's perspective to sneak PTRS behind the enemy lines. So
yes, I agree. This is also what he wanted to defend PTRS. It's much easier on the blue side than on the red side.
Yeah, as red, you only have the lane in the south, basically, or a really weird path through the middle. And then in the top, you don't really get them in at all. And in the middle also, not really. Well, as blue, you sometimes can sneak some in through the middle, and then it's really nasty. And there's just way more forest down the south on the red side where you can move through. and there's on the blue side.
Like the entire spawning area for red is one giant forest, right?
Yeah. So, but Onord will try nonetheless. It seems like
Of
we have
course he
4
will.
PTRS
Brought the first sneaky, goddammit.
and 3 foul sneakies. A classic Onord thing to do for sure. There's a Nikki DT, one of his favorite units. He loves every DT infantry that is there since the DT buff. And I mean, they got buffed quite hard. And there's a Nikki DT bring 3 DTs around. So the firepower there is
really
quite good for a cheap unit.
Yeah, it's really, really, really good.
And
by the way, is time limit 1 hour? Isn't it 50 minutes?
It's 50 minutes. I think they just put it on 1 hour so they have like some space after the 50-minute mark and it doesn't instantly end.
Okay.
So that people can check. But they also see how long it is till time limit and so on.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Or maybe it's just the last setting they played on, they forgot to change it.
Yeah, also possible. Also possible. So if you look into the center, you see off-clearer coming in by Gonzo. I do love the early off-clearer like that to put into like church towers, which I think is what he will go for here. If they survive for a long time, which happens very often, they give you so much valuable intel over the course of the game.
Yeah, if you... like, off-clearers are such a small investment with only 50 points. The only thing you have to justify it is the recon slot, but...
Exactly.
There's not that many amazing recon units. Like you want one 250/9 most likely, and then you have the other slots open for off-clearers in 26. So yeah, good recon is
sometimes it's a bit costly, but you know, most of the time it's worth the investment.
Yeah, I kind of like a bit of combat recon, like snipers and so on, more that I then can use for combat if necessary, but off-clearers for 15 points for sure can do the job. On the other side, we have the snipery. Yeah, we have a lot of sniperies actually as well.
Yeah, this is like a full assault deployment here. Like half the deployment is on jeeps and WLA bikes.
Yes. Gonzo going with a defensive setup in the south.
Yeah.
Going with a...
very defensive actually. Like look at the investment. That's 4 Panzergrants there. 5 if you count the one in the very south.
Yeah, no PTRs going through the very south. Or not knowing that that spot will be covered. Actually, no...
Fast sneaky rushing through.
Yeah, fast sneaky going for some sneaky stuff. One getting out. They are 4 men. They will beat the off-clearer in the 1v1, so the off-clearer will die there.
Have a DT.
Yeah.
Maybe the transport of the other one can be sniped. Yes. But the off-clearer maybe is gonna go down.
Ooh, Dejaniki is going really deep. Dejaniki's not having smoked himself. But more Dejaniki and Stomaviki is going in there, and Onord putting the pressure in onto the town from the get-go. And yes...
also the very north, look at the paint train.
Oh yeah, a lot of Dejaniki, Stomaviki rocks and Stomavikis with TNT, versus only a couple of Pioneers, and that's really the problem. As Gonzo, you can't afford too many CQC fights, you really have to use...
Infantry is clumped and the TNT lands and kills with 1 TNT.
Yeah, takes out 2 squads, but still too many around. Stomaviki rocks though. Oh, both TNT got out. The Stomaviki rocks dying as well. Onord will take the fight, but will pay dearly for it. Like, that was not an easy assault. Losing quite a lot of forces there. But the center is still around. Dejaniki running for the Grille.
For the Grille!
Grille trying to run, but there's nothing to help unloading the Dejaniki. This Grille is going down. Stomaviki rocks in the north versus Pioneer Führer. Also doing another TNT engagement there. One more of them most likely will die, but that still is a win for Onord there. And the center? How is it going there? Gonzo barely holding on, it seems.
But stabilizing right now. But I think right now Gonzo is, you know, beating himself for deleting the Grille in the start and replacing it with a Panzer III in the town, because the Panzer III did absolutely nothing.
Yes. And fast sneakies are still in. Onord still has a foothold there, and the 16-8 is on, and this might be a really, really fast game number 1. North collapsing as well, 17-7, 18-6 now, and this tick is just absolutely brutal. 4 times the speed of the normal tick, you're losing your hit points so quickly. 7 minutes till victory if it stays at this. Every second that sleeps by.
So much infantry in A phase has Gonzo. I'm surprised by this. He called like 5 Panzergrants in the south. Now he's calling out another 4 at once with 2 already in the town. Like, 2 cards of Pentagrams in A phase is quite a lot, I feel like, especially if we also have a Pioneer card. But I wonder, where are the Stoßtruppen with Beretta? Did he bring them in B phase?
I would expect them to be there for the counter-offensive in B phase. I think the plan of Gonzo here is letting the plan, he expected something like this, I guess, from Onord. And the plan was having a defensive setup and then knocking him out with a counter push. That still can come, but for first of all, there has to be damage control here. Damage control has to be achieved. Ooh, yeah, the Pak 40 in trouble. Sturmoviki on the hunt. And
but I feel overall, Onord took some substantial losses here in this assault, and I feel like his breakthrough is a little bit fragile with the units being fairly spread out. AT not quite up to the front line yet, and I feel like there's some counterattack potential here for Gonzo, certainly.
Yes, more Pioneers rolling in the north. It seems like he invested into 2 cards of Pioneers in A phase as well. So yeah, no.
And they have no veterancy. This infantry tab is weirding me out. Sir Gonzo, please.
Well, Pioneers are just there for the TNT.
Oh, there's a Niki connect to the Panzer 4! Oh, that's so unlucky.
Ooh, yeah. Really good play there by Onord, hitting them onto that. And yeah, Onord took some casualties.
And the Stug goes down! The Italian Stug. Or however that one is called. The anti-tank one.
Yeah, Faust Niki getting closer as well. There's a Niki running onto Panzer Grenadiers, and Panzer Grenadiers and CQC are bad. And yes, Onord took some casualties, but Desert Nikis are super replaceable. They're only 15 points. They always look bad when they die, but 15 points of investment is basically nothing. And the question is, what does Gonzo have to take ground back here? Panzer Grenadiers really not the best offensive infantry in the game. They are pretty good on the defense, especially since some of them have more ammo again now. But the offense is not their kind of job. So without the Berettas, it will be hard here. And the Berettas are still 5 minutes away. And Onord now already investing into the next part of Troublemakers. IL-2s coming around. So now Gonzo also has to consider investing into AA, investing into a fighter, which he really can't afford right now, or just eating the bombs.
Getting a Gepard. Yeah, the IL-2s will take that toll, but I think the Gepard is actually in general not so bad here, because you can also use it as an infantry support vehicle. Like, it's really good at this, at suppressing infantry and dishing out some HE damage against it in towns.
Yes, and
of course you need to make sure it doesn't get hit by a bazooka, but...
I think Onord won the starting gamble. It feels like Gonzo expected to push in the south, and then the push came in the north. Surprisingly well hold by Gonzo there. Even the Pak 40 got out there. That Sturmoviki was not able to finish that off. And he killed off a lot of units with the Pioneers. But still, Onord is in the position there. Though the 4 Pioneers plus a Grilla should be able to at least get that part back. If the M42 is not able to kill the Grilla. If that happens, that would be quite a disaster here.
It would be disastrous, but it's not even going there. It's going to the center to take care of the OBE and the Sturmoviki that are like scattered across there. The only real strong point here is the SIS-2 gun, but I mean, that won't do anything against the infantry. So if the Grilla can take out the OBs, the infantry can kill the SIS-2 gun, and then the center is actually fairly empty for Onord right now. Yes. First Focke-Wulf coming in, by the way, but he didn't anticipate that his opponent already bought out a 37mm, so it's not going to get to drop its bombs.
Yes, the positioning of 37mm also so far forward.
Yeah, very, very really aggressive. If he ever gets pushed back, like, that's gotta break his neck.
Yeah, Onord playing really ballsy here. It has to hold this town, basically, to protect his valuable rear line units now. In the south, nothing happening at all. Because Panzer Grenadiers, as I said, can't really push. So all they can do is holding the line there. And having to rely on the rest of the team to get some flags back. 59.
It's so crazy that it's already like down to 10 minutes on the 15-9 because of the quadruple tick.
Yes. 2 minutes till B phase, and then the Stoßtruppen Berettas should arrive, and they should be able to make some headway. There's a Niki DT coming in though to reinforce the town, and IL-2s continuously flying in, but now there are 2 Gepards. Two Savage Gepards is where it starts to become somewhat feasible to push IL-2s back.
And at this range, if the Panzer finds the OB, I think it should actually be able to wipe it out. Gonzo should just not be too adventurous with his Panzer freeze and so on here now. Like, he needs to preserve these assets for when he's actually got the units to push back and not waste them now. Like, lose it stupidly to the OB's heat shell or something like that. But he's not gonna, I guess. Yeah, the OB is falling back.
Yeah, Dejaniki though pinning down the Panzer Grenadier pretty well, but the Krille in the center now also doing a good job. That's what Gonzo wanted to from the beginning. Had just a bit too little meat shield in front of them at the first time around. That's why the Krille and the Panzers went down to the Dejaniki. But here he is again.
This two-gun finds a connection to the Grille.
First
he's trying to move from a shot, but he's also moving the wrong way. Oh,
big loss there. As there's only one card of Krillis, and they are all 3 dead now. You only get 3 in A. All 3 of them have fallen. Super important unit in this matchup. I wonder if he maybe has the Italian long-range Stug. If not so, then that's it with the 2000 meter HE support, which I think was one of the main reasons to go for this deck in this matchup. So
yes.
Big loss there. Whilst IL-2s also now start to strike in the south. Onord tries to get another flag there with the forest fight. Panzer Grenadiers though in a good spot where they fire slightly above 100 meters. So the Stromovicis have a rough time getting directly onto the flag there. Good
There's one
positioning.
Grille still alive in the center, by the way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got 4, I guess. Yeah. Oh no, he only lost. No, he did. Right, he only lost 2 so far, and he didn't got the third one. It was a Panzer 3. Right. I forgot that he changed that out. Valentine's now on the other side. Ooh, that's an interesting.
Crit on the Panzer 3 in the north. Ugh. But he's bringing out the Focke-Wulf 90 to strike the M42 gun.
M42 really lucky there. Focke-Wulf 190 coming in. M42 bites the dust against that.
Just look how close he's now already to that AA in the back. If he can connect to that, that would be so disastrous. The Sys-2 gun finding and engage again. This time with the Panzer 3, it's firing. It has the APCR shell on though. Small mistake here. Fires again, gets a pen. How can it still fire?
Oh my god, it has another line of sight. It gets the kill. And the Valentines are dangerous. Krille now trying to take out the Sys-3 gun. Doesn't get the hit it needed. And the Valentines against Panzer 4s and Panzer 3s are amazing. So yeah.
if they are not outranged, right? Like they're in the open, it's possible for them to be outranged.
Yeah,
and there's 4 Berettas coming into the town now, by the way.
They're the classic Italian tank. And yes, this is what Gonzo needs. He needs to take back this town. If he takes back this town, the game is open again. But he needs to take it quickly, as time is of the essence. And the northern push, thanks to the gun jammed crit, is not going as hoped. So this central push has to buy some time. Obviously, if he can get it back to a single tick, then the game goes a bit longer. He has more time. He can maybe get the better combined arms online. And then it's always dangerous for 3rd VDV. Then you kind of need to rely on your smoke play or on your air play or on 120mm mortars of Doom with radio. But
120mm already coming in, by the way, for the center.
Yeah, you really don't want the game to go
fairly
that
aggressive
long,
positioning, to be honest.
And the Stowstrip Beretta will take the first fights here. Dejanikis. 3-star veterans here on the Dejanikis and building. But the Berettas will get a Molotov on top of them. Most likely. Oh, they're too close for the Molotov. Yeah, they're too close for the Molotov. So the Dejaniki win the fight. That is unfortunate.
2 Jagdpanzers coming in now. They should take care. I mean, at a close range, the Valentines are probably still dangerous for it, actually.
Yeah, but in general, they should take care of Valentines and T-34s pretty well. Good investment as they're relatively cost efficient. Like one of the most cost efficient medium tank killers that there is. Maybe the best. Also, on the other side, if we see more IL-2s, we see more AAA. And the 120mm mortar will try to stop the Stowstrip Beretta as well. One going down in transport.
Such an uncharacteristic mistake for Gonzo as well.
I mean, really shows you how much he feels the pressure from Onord's push here, I would say. As he has to micro all across the board. These 2 players fighting on 3 fronts basically at the same time. The middle, the north, and the town. Only the south is somewhat silent, but even there, Onord found the time to get a Stromoviki rocks into the forest that now wreaks havoc onto an MG42. Might kill the Pioneer Führer there as well. it's always a joy to watch these two matching it out with all their micro all across the board.
Oof. I think Gonzo needs a flag feeling.
Yeah, more AA would be necessary. Another Gepard coming out
Look
for
at
now.
all of the Berettas coming in. How many do you get in B?
I think
I
you
always
get
have
12.
to start in AFS.
I think it's 6 and A, 12 and B. Maybe 9 and
And
B.
he has almost all of them on the field already, I think.
Yes. He's either he has them all or he has like 2 left. I'm not sure if it's 9 or 12 that you get, but you get quite a couple. And Onord still
Off
trying
map
to get the
coming
flag
into
in the
the
north,
center.
as Gonzo at least pushed it back to a 10-14. Single take.
Look at Onord spawn! Center spawn! Oh, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, that's interesting, because I don't think 26 has many big artillery guns. So, there's a good
usually
chance.
you rely on the Wurfrahmen.
Yes, and the Wolframen isn't... If you keep the B4 at somewhat of a range, the Wolframen
you
is not
can't.
danger there. So... This B4's... If the enemy has any artillery that can counter-battery them, a bad investment. But in the right matchup, if the enemy only has mortars or like rocket launchers like Wolframen that don't have the range, they are amazing. They can dish out so much damage over time. And we'll see what they
The
can do
danger
here.
is that the Wurfrahmen kills the 37mm and that you bomb it afterwards with a Focke-Wulf, right?
Yeah, but that means you get close to IL-2s and Yak 90s. So, don't know.
Gonzo is now moving forward in the city, and I feel like it's gonna become a real problem that the AA is that far forward. And I mean, once he's got the AA and broken through there, the mortar isn't too far back either.
Yeah,
But Onord has already brought in the smoke-off map now and is saving up some Desant Niki, so I think he's gonna go for a make-or-break smoke attack on the town there.
Yes, in the north he also invests into one more push. Domoviki rocks 2 more coming in there to try to run over the enemy forest there. If they can do that, that would be quite brutal. 2 more flags in danger then. But Gonzo at least gets the small investment.
Look at where he puts the smoke-off map.
Okay.
It's a smoke-off map, right? I'm not crazy.
Yes. They don't get a normal off map.
Oh, okay.
And 132 is the smoke. Huh?
That's a really weird position to me. I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking there. He's bringing in a Breda A, by the way. And he's gone for the Panzer IV F1 card in B phase here. And is spamming out a bunch of those vehicles now.
Yeah, if you can deal with
Let's
the
see how this will work.
T-34s, then there's nothing else that really can deal with the expensive force. And with the Jagdpanzers, you should be easily doing that. The 37mm already under fire by one Panzer Grenadier. Gets the kill though. But one Dejaniki going down in transport. Panzer Grenadiers with Panzerfaust getting the kill there. So the push through the smoke, maybe a bit optimistic here by Onord.
That is not gonna happen. It's a single Desaniki.
Yeah, a lot of tanks coming in.
Yeah, the armor is really scary right now. And if you look into the center as well, what's left for Onord? 2 OBs, they both went down just now at the Sysgun. And look at what's on the other side, a whole bunch of infantry. The MG just went down in transport, which is unfortunate for Gonzo. But a Jagdpanzer, 2 Panzer IVs, like that single Sysgun is not gonna do the trick. But a tank buster L2 coming in for the north now, trying to go for that Jagdpanzer. There is one Gepard behind it, but that shouldn't disrupt it before it gets at least some of the shots off.
He doesn't have line of sight on it though. He lost the line of sight. And the second
No,
Gepard is helping out.
and there's and all Gepards actually open fire. Yeah, that should be enough. Yeah, easily. Look at how ballsy Gonzo is being in the very north with his Panzer III. He's gonna get an anti-tank grenade in the face again. Oh no, he's moving back. Okay.
Domoviki rocks, they made it in, but the center is where the important part is now.
The AA is down, man. And now, if he moves even a little bit further forward, he will get the 120mm mortar. And how is he gonna stop this? The B4 is on the street. He can shoot it with the Jagdpanzer if he moves a little bit forward. What?
If the B4 is on direct fire now, it seems like. But it's super inaccurate. And it doesn't do enough stress damage. Sys 2 gun
It's completely broken. There's nothing here that can hold Gonzo back. The 2 T-34s, what are they gonna do against the Jagdpanzer? And I mean, he's bringing in another Sys And there we go, airstrike! Airstrike onto the B4, but the BF-109's firepower was not enough. I'm surprised he went for the BF-109s instead of the Sagittario, is that how it's called? The Italian fighter?
Yeah.
The Italian fighter is so much better, no?
I think so as well, but he decided against it. Sys-2 gun is on the road, so Jagdpanzer has to be a bit careful. T-34 trades with Panzer IV, that's a fine trade.
Jak goes down.
Goes down.
Oh.
So much AA. Another Panzer 3L versus T-34 trade, that would be fine for Gonzo.
What a turnaround. The city is under so much pressure. He's gonna smoke off map it now, but he's smoking too far back. He's like too optimistic. That front line is already gone. You need to smoke off map where your T-34 is now to stop the advance.
Yeah.
This is gonna do nothing.
Mortar just now started running. Infantry coming in. Yeah, the B4 seems to be just... That's 10 Dejaniki spots that he could have bought for that B4 fight. Imagine 10 Dejaniki sitting in buildings there right now. How much time they would buy. And the B4 investment just came too early, I would say. The front line was not stable enough for Onord. And now he's paying the price for it. He invested into the late game tools, the 120mm, the B4, and the smoke off map already. But he didn't have the meat in front of it.
Look at his very south as well. Like, he's got 3 Desantniki, 2 Desantniki TT, and 1 Desantniki holding an entire third of the map. Like, if that bluff ever gets called, that is gone, right? Like, I mean, yeah, I know Panzergrades are not great at pushing, but like, the defense that's there is also not something to write home about.
Yeah, the B4 is trying its best to help out in the north. Ooh. T-34 takes out the Panzer III in the north, and even the fight in the north, Onord overly aggressive here with like really little forces against way more forces. He still did the pushing till just now.
He's spread way too thin.
But Dejaniki is running into the smoke. But those two Berettas are the perfect unit against this. You can't just face unloading against them.
Delete one of the transports before it unloads. Oh, they unload just in time.
But even then, they just lose. Like, you need the Dejanikis defensively against the Stoster Berettas, otherwise the Stoster Berettas should do the winning. Yeah. Well, somewhat equal trades, but it's quite costly there. North not going too well. He's holding the line,
so many
12-12.
bombers in the sky.
But
Famo now coming out.
He will have to do some big work with air and artillery. And a lot of...
He saved the 120mm water.
Yeah, the 120mm survived, the off-map survived, the B4 survived for now. So that part is good. He has
a gun in the open now, potentially against 4 tanks in range.
IL-2. IL-2's coming in.
But the 2 Jagdpanzers need to get closer so that they can also fire at the Sys-2 gun to suppress it quickly.
Yeah, Sys-2 gun took one fight too many. It should have only fought with the 1 Panzer IV there. B4 trying to help out. Ooh, Su-76s coming around. Will get one of the Panzer IVs for sure. But the Jagdpanzer is now on the push as well. And the B4...
but transmission damage, damn. The Su-76 is perfect counter here actually against the Jagdpanzers, right? It's what you want.
Yeah, but not on this range. You want them a bit closer.
Yeah. They got penned a little bit, the Su-76s. I think both of them got penned once. One more shot! Okay, one of them even goes down. Yeah, so they're not gonna be super great anymore. Because one shot will finish this one off. Ooh, and it takes an unwanted engage against the Jagdpanzer actually along the road and goes down as well. And that's it for the tank support once more.
Yeah.
And look at the armor on Gonzo's side. Just zoom out and look at all of the armor. Yeah, you're zoomed out right now. I see it on the stream. God damn!
It's a lot of Jagdpanzers. It's 4 Jagdpanzers and a lot of cheap Panzer IVs. It's the perfect composition of armor that you can't really do much against.
The Griller needs to start firing on Sys-2 gun. 2 tank busters coming in now. They might clean up a lot here. Actually, it doesn't get the kill on the first Jagdpanzer. The second one, not either.
130mm frontal armor are just that slight bit too much for the IL-2's penetration value. Like even
I mean, he also came in frontally, you're right. Like, there was no need for that. He could have swung in from the north.
Well, not with the Famo around. Famo is around, so the IL-2s need to get in quickly. And yeah, Gonzo is getting the combined arms. That's what we were talking about from the get-go. Onord swinging in hard, getting Gonzo's hit points really low here. But just not
The
quite able
north
to
is
finish the
falling
job.
apart as well. Look at what's left in the north for Onord. It's 2 Thessaloniki, a single man of Strumoviki Rocks, and the Senard 85mm.
Yeah. It feels like really the B4 was the big mistake. A couple, like 10 more Dejanikis holding the buildings here could have kept the 1311 alive for long enough. It's only like 4 or 5 minutes now away from victory, but I don't see how you ever get there again. And holding out now for another 26 minutes also seems highly unlikely.
Yeah. Also, there's no AA on the side of Onord right now, and it's gonna be hard to buy any out. If Gonzo ever gets, there's one fighter. If he gets a second one, he can try and intercept the next bombing run. Ah, well, there's the big AA in the north. Okay, I was lying. I'm sorry, viewers.
Before trying to get out, trying to get a bit further away, but the center is just looking so damning right now. Gonzo looks like he has done it.
Yeah, I think so too. There's another Sd2 gun in the same forest again, but I mean, once it looks out, there's just gonna be the same situation of 5 trillion tanks firing at it. There's 2 guerrillas in the center.
Yeah, and I would say Onord just tried to be too fancy here. What my idea would have been after a position like this was just have been endless Dejanikis with endless smoke off maps that make it super hard for the enemy to get any line of sights onto you other than running directly into your Dejanikis. And that way you hold the ground. I mean, that's what all he needed to do at the end of A phase. But the B4 was just too fancy. He tried to go for the style points, but we don't count those here. And it looks like Gonzo has just the perfect balance to figure it out now.
Runaway game, and I think he knows as well. And I wonder, you know, it's hard to deal with that sometimes in a series. I know that I would get upset at myself for losing this game. Let's hope that he you know, also finds that. I mean, I think it's not quite like Quattro and also me, obviously, we're like quite easily, or at least me, I'm quite easily tiltable. And we have to wait and see how well Onord deals with this.
I feel like the last time around, the first game looked similar, and we still had an insane series afterwards. Like, if you remember correctly, we lost super hard with 25th Panzer Grenadier last time around, and like this time,
yeah, I remember
he even looked better than this. So yeah, I don't think Onord is going in a serious way. He's going game by game. He must be tilted, obviously. Like, I'm not saying this doesn't have any effect on him, but I feel like he's a player who goes game by game. Sometimes a bit too fancy, like we see here. I was thinking about too many things at once, going 2 steps ahead too far, and then not having the meat ready. And yeah, that Dejanikis was all that was needed here, it felt like, to secure the victory. But we had too little of them. Maybe he was out of them in A phase, then forgot that it was B phase already, or so. Like, I don't know what exactly happened.
But and here's what I was talking about earlier, by the way. The guerrilla was position firing to catch the Sd2 gun in the forest, and he never stopped the position firing. And now, even though the Sys gun is already visible, it's not readjusted. He's still position firing into the same place, and the guerrilla is down to 7 shots now.
And actually, as we're talking like Onord has lost this game, he's back to a 12-12. Counter pushing himself. Maybe we were a bit too quick, as it seems like Gonzo was a bit too quick as well. Slightly over pushing here in the center, having a bit too many armored units without any recon for them. And now the Krilla goes down, quite a couple of Panzer IVs went down. Is this the comeback of the comeback?
Ooh. The Grille had so many, wasted so many shots into the south of the forest. It could have gotten like 4 shots onto that Sd2 gun when it looked out the north before being fired at.
The two T-34s went down in the south. Jagdpanzer doing a good job there. And the Pak 40 also helping out. I guess Gonzo still has it. Well, it was...
Yeah, like there's no support for this, right? Like with the 2 T-34s were, but with them gone, it's again just some scattered infantry units. And in the north, Gonzo has completely circumvented the remaining defenses of Onord and basically is assaulting the deep forest of Onord now. And as long as he keeps on the roads, right, like doesn't go into the deep forest with the Panzergrens, I don't think the Thessaloniki can cross.
Well, he lost a couple of AA pieces. I think he lost 1 Breda and 1 Gepard already. If the Famo could get sniped, That obviously would
Famo's
open
out
up.
of ammo as well.
Yeah, Famo is running back before trying to get the kill there. But good micro there from Gonzo. That's why the Famo is so good. You get an 88 that can run away from shit. Like, it's something that you don't get
And
otherwise.
it's very
But
edging
assist 2?
forward, trying to find the mortar, but instead a distant Nikki comes out of the building. That was a bit too adventurous here by Gonzo.
Yeah, Gonzo feels like slightly overzealous right now.
Yeah, he feels hurried. It feels like he feels that he needs to close out the game right now.
I'm not quite sure why. Does he feel
Yeah,
like
right?
he doesn't? Maybe he has no AA left, and he feels like that might be scary in the long run. He loses the.
He must have at least one more Famo in the back, right? And he only brought it out in B phase, so then he would have 4, right?
Yeah.
That would mean he has 3 more still to bring out. Which that takes a lot of time to grind through if you always move it after shooting.
Oh, that bombing run was bad. That bombing run was really bad from Onord. Hitting his own Dejaniki there, pinning them down, not doing any stress onto the enemy. But the Dejaniki is still good enough to deal with Panzer Grenadiers and Pioneers here. 2-star Veteran C especially. They deal a lot of damage quite quickly. Pioneers will get their TNT off on one of them, but the other one should then be able to do the job. 59 still for Gonzo. But if the air can get through again for Onord, that might be the one way to get back into this. So the Famo needs to stay alive. Famo currently out of ammo though. Only a single Gepard.
There's also a Gepard very far behind the front line in the north. Like, it just needs to bring it up.
And 14 now. The Stormoviki rocks in the forest, as all the Sturm Beretta have been knocked out. That one Stormoviki rocks will be there forever, because no Panzer Grenadier in the world is good enough to deal with that in a anywhere close to cost-efficient manner. So you really have to be careful. Ooh! Okay, Jagdpanzer not being spotted. IL-2. Otherwise we could have gotten some side shots there. That would have been dangerous. But Onord needs to...
I think that's the first one we see. An autocannon car. This is his salvation. Now he has the C-phase autocannon car card, and he's like, well, you know what? Here's 24 autocannon cars. GG. Get out.
Yeah, Gonzo also coming in with the own airplay. Using 800 kilogram bombs there. Has to be a bit careful. IL-2s, if they line up behind the Z-1007, they could be dangerous. But they don't do the job here. Onord will lose another flag in the south. A lot of Panzer Grenadiers with half-trackers here around. At least Dejaniki is somewhat solid with their anti-tank grenades. Half-tracks can't run around with impunity there. But Onord...
But the autocannon car can. I mean, not without like with impunity, but the autocannon cars are super scary, I think, because they can spot the units in the buildings and then just murder them.
The L2's starting to get some value here though, but one of them is getting a bit deep. BF-109 not around, and Onord has to stabilize quickly here.
And he's bringing finally an ammunition truck to resupply both the Gepard and the Famo in the center, and he's bringing out another Famo in the south.
Yeah.
But he lost the Breda one in the center now. I wonder why didn't they go for the Italian fighter? It's so good. It's so nimble, good firepower as well, and it doesn't even cost more.
Maybe just to spite Quattro U, not using any Italian units, just so he doesn't use any Italian units. No, I don't know. I guess he's not used to that fighter. Maybe the BF-109 is something he is more familiar with micro-wise, and that's the thing he wants to go for. Grilla takes out the SIS-2. SIS-2 got the kill onto the supply truck though, so the Famo won't get supplied here. Another supply truck will be necessary. Grilla also nearly out of ammo, so that could be an option of making this work, just making the AA run out of ammo. But this IL-2 might go down. Bit too ballsy here maybe.
No, I don't think so. Gepards can't, I think. No shot.
4 in the north. Yeah, Onord has the air to crowd this out in the long run, but he only has 8 minutes right now.
Another thing is, I think right now, if he brought out the 2 tank buster IL-2s at once, he could kill both Gepards and the Famo with the air, actually. Because he can use the tank busters for it.
Yeah, he gets two more Panzer IVs with the tank buster though. IL-4 in the north also getting some hits off. Focke-Wulf on the hunt. And there's no AA in the north, but the IL-2 should teleport out before that arrives. And the IL-4 is in a weird angle now that you can't really hit. Ooh, Nicky's behind the lines in the north, being super sneaky. Can they push the front line onto the flags in the rear? That would be... Oh boy.
Hey, he actually has the Italian Stuck card, or the Italian assault gun card. It's coming out.
Oh yeah, that's good 2000 meter range. B4 though, and the bombers still helping out the Onord here. We have 16 minutes to go. Onord still ahead in points and still at least 7 minutes away from bleeding out here. Can Onord do the comeback? As Gonzo was just that slight bit too overzealous. Too many small Panzer force that did die unnecessarily. Not waiting for the infantry.
I think the picture of the possible counterattack is gonna change rapidly now the second that Famo is resupplied. And the Gepard.
Yeah.
Because the air basically has free reign right now, but with 2 Famos there and 2 Gepards protecting the Famos, that circus is over, right? Like you can't fly around like this anymore afterwards.
The one area where you then could maybe attack is the south with your air, and all the Panzer Grenadiers here have no AT, so the T-34 were currently just rushing through.
But the Panzer is coming through from the north.
Oh no!
Once more!
Oh!
T-34 is trying to run.
But it's
not anymore. Oh!
It's too late. It's going down.
Too adventurous once again. These two players not giving each other an inch.
Yeah, and I feel like that's both of these players usually getting through with maneuvers like this, and they both have to readjust to not being able to do that against players of the skill level. Like if you only play ranked, where maneuvers like this just totally work fine against 90% of the player base or 95% of the player base, then you have to readjust to the skill level of your opponent here, where moves like this just don't work out. They see it, they spot it, they react quickly, and then you have to be careful. Ooh, Dejanicki's Jagdpanzer here, once more getting saved by their 12 hit points. Dejanicki's getting a AT grenade on top of them, but they only deal 10 damage. They only take out normal medium tanks, but Jagdpanzers are heavy tanks.
Jagdpanzers have 12 HP, really?
Yes, they have 12 HP. One of the
God damn.
extra bonuses on them. One of the fancy stuffs about them, that they have 12 HP. So the Jagdpanzer here survives the AT grenade. Otherwise, that would have...
Look at my boy Gonzo and the autocannon cars coming through everywhere.
But it's a 10-14.
Now that's what we like to see.
It's a 10-14 now.
Yeah, but he's about to get another flag. Then he's gonna get another one down in the very south.
Yeah, it's only...
And the very south is looking a bit questionable right now for Onord.
Counterattack by Onord in the north though. Sturmovicky's in the forest, and Panzer Grenadiers in the forest are just horrible. The Sturmovicky rocks can deal with all 3 Panzer Grenadier units in that forest easily. And the Dejanicki in the north, really close to getting some flags there behind Gonzo's line. Just being held by the MG42 and the Pioneer, I think, from the bubble. And if the T-34...
The is wrongly aligned, the T-34 in the north coming out from the forest is gonna shoot in its back, and it's gonna easily get a shot off and can get out of there before the Jagdpanzer is fully turned. Maybe I lied. Dude, the Jagdpanzer turned around so quickly. God damn!
Yeah, it's a nimble tank with 12 hit points, with great armor and great penetration power. But the IL force on top of it should make that unimportant. T-34 should be able to get some side shots now. Well,
Panzer IV now moving north from the center to intercept the T-34, or like kill it at least after it got the Jagdpanzer.
Wait, what are you shooting at? T-34, no.
Oh, the T-34, no! Traitor!
It's aiming at units that are not pinned down. No focus fire there from...
Traitor!
But the Dejanicki got reconnected with the front line of the T-34. And now there's a really weird front line there. Meanwhile,
no, T-34, what are you doing? He's moving to face more frontal armor. And he's shooting at the Panzergren! What's going on?
No, the Jagdpanzer
is recovered. Now the Jagdpanzer is gonna kill the T-34.
Oh, it gets penetration. This was really bad micro there from Onord.
No, Jagdpanzer. Run, T-34, run! Oh no!
But the flag at least will go back to Onord. But it's a 77
for 3
now.
seconds before the 2 autocannon cars arrive and murder everything now that the T-34 is gone.
Well, there's still some M42s. There's a SU-76 coming up. But yeah, it feels like the last couple of 2 or 3 minutes once more went pretty well for Gonzo, trade-wise. And yeah, Onord, with the C-phase income of 80 points, just doesn't have the power in the deck anymore to get back in here. Still gets some nice kills. Panzer IV goes down. Lots of bombers trying to come in, but now, as you said, with where's the
one
second
Famo
Famo?
actually went down.
Yeah, one Famo went down, but still 2 Gepards, 1 Famo. Should be able to push back. As I say that, what the
Yeah,
heck?
but
What?
I mean, like if he didn't target the Grille first, he could have easily gotten the 2 Gepards or the Famo.
I don't think the Krilla took him any time. Like, he killed the Krilla whilst it's not being in range of the Gepard just yet. So that was just a drive-by shoot. But getting...
Oh, Famo gets the distance shot kill! Sniper!
Yeah, sniper
Oh,
Famo.
no.
And it's only 2 minutes 50 now.
Yeah.
And that should be it. Like, there's just not enough units to grab flags on the map anymore. But interesting game one. Interesting game one. Both players with some sloppy mess-ups, but as I said, I would rather say that's because they're not used to playing players of the skill level anymore. And they have to readjust into final mode again. And yeah, let's see. As the semifinals,
Very good game one.
really entertaining. That's why I like secretly cheered for both of these players to get the rematch this season. So yeah, Incha versus Karis would have been interesting as well. But GGVP here, yeah, close KD, but just not enough push power left on the board in the end. Too many air units, obviously, as well, to allow for a pushback here for Onord in the end. And damn, GGVP, Gonzo coming with the comeback. And that's what both of these players are so good in. And that's why I love it. They can come back from positions where everyone else has GG'd out already. And Gonzo did that here as well. And giving it back to Onord here in game number 1 on Kostritsa. And not gonna lie, I didn't expect that out of him. Gonzo, really good shape here. The combined arms setup, amazing. Like having 26 Panzer figured out perfectly. And that's a really nice game 1.
Yeah, I mean, 26 Panzer pick on Kostritsa, we both were a little doubtful. It lacks the usual focus on CQC that you see when you go into Kostritsa. You usually want a deck that has something really good for forests, right? Not just something where you're like, oh yeah, I get a card of Beretta Infantry. Like, you want something that has 2 cards of Sturmoviki Rocks and, I don't know, TNT units or something like this, right? But I mean, he made it work, so.
Yeah. That was absolutely loved. Like 26, somewhat wild pick. Like, I mean, it's a A or B tier division. It's not a bad pick. It's not a super thing like Koruk or so, but still not something you.
I think it's a good division. I just wouldn't pick it into third VDV on
It's usually a map that you see on a Slutsk or so, and not on a
I think Slutsk would go for other divisions that have more bigger tanks or like a big AT gun as well or something like this. I think it's more of a mixed terrain division like Haroshaya or something like this, where you have some ranged engages, but also like the city fight where you have like the little Italian Stuks, right? There's the small ones with the heat shell, and you have the Panzer Freeze and so on. And what basically makes you better than a normal or the average tank division is the air tab, and that you get the Berettas.
And yeah, Onord also saying in chat he shouldn't have gotten the 250 points of artillery, and we kind of agree. Like, the B4 is basically 10 Desert Nikis. Next time, he will get the 10 Desert Nikis, and he might win this game. So, obviously, against all the armored push, like, even the 10 Desert Nikis would have still been hard to play out, but I feel like defensive smoke is something that is so strong with 3rd VDV after its initial push. And that makes the enemy have to recalibrate all their plans of how to push, or just let you sit on that flex for another 2 minutes, which they can't allow in the 59th situation. So that would have been my idea, but obviously I wouldn't have gotten into that place in the first place against Gonzo, so still props to Onord for getting that push done at the beginning. And yeah.
Well, you are the 3rd VDV king, so you're uniquely qualified to criticize Onord here.
Yeah. And the first prediction going out. The first couple of channel points have changed the owner, as everyone who did bet on Gonzo got the first couple of points. All the boring people doing the safe bet here. And it's 1-0. And I would say we can go. Ooh, wait, what is happening here? Dashboard, what are you doing? Okay, yeah, I would say we go into a short break, and then we'll be back in 3 minutes for the game number 2. As both players will take their time, I guess, to pick and ban. And then we'll see you there.
With a new cup of coffee.
Yeah, I need a coffee as well. I hadn't had one today, and that's really what I need. So see you all in 3 minutes.